Hi everybody, my name's Tom. I am the owner and manager of Aquatech Aquariums and Ponds in Blackpool. We're going to be starting a series of videos which are we're going to do some unboxing, we're going to do some reviews, we're going to show you some of our favourite products, and then we're probably going to ask you to see if you want any hints and tips on any particular topics or any other products that you would like us to talk about for you. Today, the first video, our first ever one, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Octo Bio Pellet Reactor. So bio pellet reactors, if you haven't heard of them, they are for use in marine and reef aquariums. They are designed to help reduce nitrates and phosphates. So this is for all you guys out there with a reef tank. You may be getting a little bit of algae, your corals maybe aren't colouring up so much, they're a little bit browner, you may have some high nitrates, and these bio pellet reactors are going to be especially efficient at removing those nitrates, or significantly reducing those nitrates for you. And it works in a similar way to a carbon dosing sort of method, except that the carbon food source naturally breaks down whilst it's tumbling in the reactor. So opposed to you dosing it, it breaks down itself in its own time. So what's good about these reactors is that if you have quite low phosphates, because it takes 1 part phosphate to 16 parts nitrate, if you have very low phosphates, you can maintain low phosphates and still use these reactors to remove nitrate, because it removes such a larger proportion of nitrate in comparison to phosphate. So it's really, really good for those of you suffering with nitrates. The reactors are fantastic. They're a little bit different to carbon dosing because you don't need to go and do a daily routine where you are dosing a set amount for your tank each day. You know, a bio pellet reactor will just do its own job. It will work 24/7. You just leave it switched on in your sump, and it will just slowly release as they break down all of these little carbons, little polymer, microscopic sort of polymer products that this bacteria can grow on. And then when this bacteria grows, your protein skimmer is going to be responsible for pulling out all of this bacteria, all of this sort of consumed nitrate and phosphate that this bacteria is consumed along with it. So it just works 24/7, and it does that for you. So there's not a lot you have to do. The only maintenance for these reactors is that you'll have to clean it every now and then, and you'll have to replace the media. Now I believe they also recommend that you change your media every 3 to 6 months. So you can literally leave this running for up to 6 months and not have to worry about it, not have to do anything. Obviously keep testing. Test your nitrates and phosphates regularly, see that it's doing its job. And the other thing that I like about these is that the way that they work, you know, because they reduce such a high amount of nitrate to phosphate, you might find that it lags a little bit in phosphate if it's been running for so long and your nitrates get really, really low. If your nitrates are really, really low and where we want them to be, then you might find your phosphate is a little bit higher than you want it to be, because there's not enough nitrate to reduce the amount of phosphate that you want to remove. So this can actually work, in my opinion, in conjunction with maybe an algae reactor, or maybe a bag of Phosguard, aluminium oxide, or GFO, like maybe Roaphos, sort of an iron-based ferrous oxide phosphate removing product. Keep your phosphates right down, keep your nitrates right down. What I would say is that if you're using the two together, if you are using that and you find your nitrates start to increase, then remove that phosphate media. If your phosphate's staying really, really low and your nitrates go up, remove that phosphate media, because if you get your phosphate too low, then this reactor will not be able to remove nitrates, because don't forget, it always needs that 1 part phosphate to hit that 16 parts nitrate. So they work together, but the good thing about a bag of GFO or something like that is you can put it in when you need it, you can remove it when you don't. Your reactor you can keep running up all the time, and you'll find that you're actually going through less phosphate media because you don't have to replace it all the time. Half the time it's not even in the tank. This will do its job. Hopefully, if you get it just right, you'll never have to use phosphate media again. This will be just fine for the balance of your tank. But you can use phosphate media just to pick up on any lag. Let this do the majority of the lug work, the horse work, and then, you know, stick a bag of Phosguard in there just when there's a little bit of extra phosphate when it's not quite catching on, just to account for any lag. So we're going to get right into it. I'm going to show you the box, we're going to unbox the product. You can have a look, we'll show you how well packed it is, what's inside it, how easy it is to put together. I mean, with these particular reactors, they almost come ready built. All you have to do is stick the pump in the bottom. To undo the media, you take the top off, then you put your media in and you put the top back on, and it is plug and play. It's as simple as that. You could have this set up in 5 minutes, you know, and probably 3 minutes of that is undoing the box. So really, really good to get on with and start turning away and turning down those nitrates and phosphates in your tank ASAP.
First of all, let's get on with the unboxing and show you what's actually inside the box. Okay.
Okay, so let's get straight in and just open up the box and see what we have inside. Obviously, whenever you're opening up any item and you're using a knife, obviously be careful of yourself with the knife, you don't want you getting hurt, but also be aware that the product inside might be very close to the surface of the box. So just be careful with your knife not to actually damage the product. As we open up, this product is nicely wrapped up in some styrofoam or and protection. Inside we've got some instructions for the construction. Okay, this is some big thick styrofoam. I'm just going to put my knife away. Plenty of protection in there. You're not expecting this to get damaged during shipping. If you're ordering this online, you can expect it to arrive with you safely and in one piece. So that's good. Inside straight away looks really nice, really quality acrylic material. You can tell with Octo they don't hold back on the materials. You know, it's always very well made stuff. Anybody who's seen their protein skimmers, obviously we have one as well on our system. You can always come into the store and come and have a look at ours. Anyone who's seen them in action, they are fantastic. They all feel good, solid material. A couple of stickers on the front just for a bit of branding. I mean, it is what it is. They're just stickers. You know, they're not sort of vinyl wrapped on. And then the good thing about all Octo products, what makes them so special, I'm just going to get this box out of the way so you can see the actual product. There we go, stand that up on there. So what makes the Octo range so special is that actually Octo, they design all of their own pumps. So these pumps are engineered and manufactured by Octo themselves, and each one is engineered and manufactured with the products in mind that they're going to be used for. So for example, this one is being used on the reactor. Bioreact 90 pump on the top there. It's been designed for it, purpose made. They've not gone and outsourced this to another company who makes pumps, so you expect it to work perfectly, and they do. They tend to. It's the same with the skimmers. You know, really good quality stuff. Let's get this up out of the box, and there we have it. The pump comes apart nice and easy. Inside there we've got a standard impeller casing, pretty similar to anything we would see on any other manufactured pump, to be fair. But what I do like about them is the feel. So it's a really good strong magnet. It was quite a struggle for me to get that out of there, but also these rubber seals, they're so tight. They really do feel nice and smooth. That holds itself in, it's not poking itself out. The rubber seal's doing the job. And actually, if I just turn that closed, it just feels so smooth. Everything about them so smooth. Big rubber feet. We've got some big rubber feet on the bottom of the pump. That's obviously to help with noise reduction, so that this isn't vibrating along on the bottom of your sump. And they are removable as well. If one gets ruined, you can get that replaced. It's nice that it's not a sucker. You know, a lot of these products, they have suckers on the bottom, and then you try and sit it in place and it gets stuck there, and you want to try and move it and you can't. So these, it's just feet. Just feet, you know, gravity's going to hold it where it's going to be, so that's fine. That's going to do the job. And then as far as construction goes, it's pretty much already built. So on the top we've got like a gauze here. So this is obviously going to stop your media from rolling out over the top. The special thing about these designs is this sort of biochurn method of how it actually fluidizes the media. So I don't know if you can see here. I'm just going to check on the back of the camera to see if you can make that out. I mean, I don't know what the focus is like, bear with me. There, right, okay, so you can just make out on this pump that it's got a diagonal sort of flow director built into the actual acrylic system. So as the water comes up through your pump, it turns around in the bottom to mix, and then actually it's going to shoot out in a diagonal motion, which is going to send the media spiraling. Instead of just tipping up and down and things just bubbling over in the side, everything's going to be turning around. It's going to be like a little tornado inside here, and what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that we don't have any dead spots for media. So all the media is actually going to be fluidized and bubbling away and working as it's supposed to. So I'm going to go ahead now and get this pump attached. All we're literally going to do is slide her on there, just like that. So yeah, the product just fits in as easily as that, and that's how plug and play this product actually is. So from buying the product, taking it out of the box, we literally, all we want to do, slide the pump in so it's a nice snug fit. Feet are already level with the base. Move the wiring out of the way, and of course, since I've removed this, it's worth noting as well that on this we have a flow regulator. I'll go into that a little bit more detail in a minute when we switch it on. But there's a little bit of a flow regulator here, which works to just reduce or increase the amount of flow and fluidization that your pump's going to show. So, click this back on because we want to have that on. There we go. Nice and easy. Just make sure that that's still in. And then I think what we will do next is actually we're going to set it up, put it into some water, and show you this reactor in action. Okay. So, just before we actually put this into the water and turn it on and start it running, the first thing I wanted to just show you quickly was how we actually put some media into the reactor. So on the top, you can do this using a Phillips screwdriver or a flathead screwdriver, or usually you will find that you are able to do it just with your hands. Now I did bring a screwdriver over just in case. I didn't need it at all. I haven't loosened it first. It is this loose when you get it out of the box, and so yeah, it's just hand tightening is fine. Undo your little plastic screw, pop that out of the way, and off comes your lid, which is your little gauze that we discussed earlier that stops the media from escaping from the reactor. The reactor that we're going to use in our system is the same reactor. It's the Octo media, so the Octo Biospheres, and it does state that for this reactor we need around about 1/2 of a tub. It's 0.4 litres of media is suitable for this reactor, and this is a 1 litre, 1,000 millilitre tub of bio pellets. So we're going to be using roughly, and I mean, this isn't an exact science, you know, as to how we do it. I'm just going to roughly half the media into the reactor. So this is look like vacuum packed as well, which is quite cool. I'm assuming that's so that it doesn't have any sort of reaction, or it might just be for shipping, but that's quite cool. Just shows the extra effort that people go to when they're setting up these things. Okay, and I'm going to save this because in about 3 months we're going to replace this media. I'm just going to vacuum pack it again. Simply, as easily as we took it off, we're going to replace this back into the centre. It does just fit quite nicely, and then use the plastic screw just to hand tighten it so that it stays on. It's not coming off that way. And it doesn't have to be too tight, you know, the media's not going to fit out of there, so that's going to be just fine. And then we're going to put it into the water. We're going to set it up, we're going to move the camera around so that it's a nice straight on view, and you can actually then see exactly what this is like in action. So let's have a look. Okay, so now that we have the reactor in the tank, it's in the water. This is just some RO water, so it's not salted water. We've just got some RO water just to set this up and really see how it's going to run. Hopefully, we're going to switch this on and it's going to show you this amazing sort of spiral effect, the way that it tumbles the media and fluidizes the media, which ensures that we don't end up with dead spots and little bits of media that are just relaxing in the corners, or, well, it's not really corners, that are just relaxing in the sides, and not really doing much. So this, when we switch this on, if all works with this spiral design, this diagonal slits that they have in the acrylic below, that's the delivery system of the reactor, the flow of the reactor, it will turn these around like a little tornado. Here we go. And there it is. So this is the reactor in running mode. I suppose the benefits of this, and I mean we have this adjustable flow. So this is as we've turned it down, I believe. Yeah, so that's it turned down onto the lowest setting, so it's really just about tumbling, and then we can turn it right up, which is where I would have it, so that we've got this lovely tornadoing effect, and it's just turning around. All the media is there turning around, whistling away, and it's, as this breaks down, this media is going to release this carbon polymer, and that's going to feed the bacteria, that's going to reduce our nitrates and phosphates 24/7. As this spins, it's just going to break down, and it's going to be a constant slow release of this denitrifying bacteria. It's going to reduce our nitrates and phosphates. So really good idea, really good design, really good that they've managed to make it unique, because biopellet reactors are not new. You know, we had the biopearls, we've had various other brands bring out all sorts of different biopellet medias and reactors, but none quite like this. This churning of the media is unique to Octo, and I think it's a really good design, really happy with it. It's quite noisy in this room, so it's a little bit difficult to tell, but it's really quiet running. There is a slight trickle, but actually you might find that your sump's water level is a little bit higher up than this. I've got this just enough water in this tank for this display, but this might be, and so your trickling your actual trickle sound will be much less. The flow rate on this is really good too. I mean, it's turning over quite a bit of water. I'm really happy with that, and I love how it looks. I suppose the only con is that, especially if you've got any kind of refugium or any kind of lights down there in your sump, if it's not in pitch black, then the chances are, because this water's flowing over the outside of the reactor, you're going to get a little bit of algae growth on here, and given some time, you're probably going to get some calcareous algae growth on there as well, which is going to be a little bit more difficult to clean up. But that said, it's easy enough to take apart. It's easy enough to take to the sink or wherever and give it a good clean off. Absolutely, I'm happy with it. And to be fair, with most reactors, you would find, it's going to be difficult to clean inside, really, more so than outside. But a nice brush cleaner, you can get inside it with that and just give the outside a good wipe as ever you need to. So yeah, overall really impressed. I would definitely recommend it. Obviously not just because we sell it, we sell all kinds of products, we sell all kinds of reactors, but I would definitely recommend this one. It's certainly my favourite. I mean, for me it's just quite pretty to watch, just seeing all that sort of floating around there and churning around happily. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to actually set this one up on our reef system. If you come and see us in store, you'll be able to see it in action on the reef system, and give us your thoughts then. Okay, so in summary, we have our reactor, quality manufactured acrylic body reactor, used only the highest quality acrylic materials. We have a purpose designed pump that was actually designed and manufactured by Octo for the reactor that they're also manufacturing and retailing. Really good design, and unique design in that the delivery system of the water throughout the reactor is in this sort of spiral, diagonal, almost tornado-like sort of flow travel. Which ensures that none of these biopellets are actually sat still or dormant. They're all being fluidized. You may notice with some of the other sort of styles of reactor and biopellet reactor that we get the centre of them all sort of bubbling over, especially as they get a little bit weightier as well, as they start to get covered in bacteria. They then start to sort of slow down, and you get the outside, the lower rim of the outside, you get these sort of dormant pellets that just sort of sit there. You almost want to shake it a little bit and just get it all kicked up again and get it going. So you don't have that problem with this, and that's what's really unique about it, is this special delivery system. Nice and quiet running, and an excellent price point. I mean, we're talking $179.95 for the biopellet reactor 90. That's available from us in store. You can pop in store, come and pick one up, or you can order online as well at www.coastalaquatics.co.uk, which is our new online presence, our new online website. If you like the videos, guys, please subscribe and let me know how I did. If you've got any questions, you can leave some comments below. I'm going to put this on Facebook, I'm going to put this on YouTube and Instagram as well. It is our first video, it's my first video, so it's my first time in front of a camera, so hopefully we'll just get better and better at this, and we'll start to do more and more interesting topics and get the information right out to you. So enjoy, take care of yourselves, stay safe. Aquatech, peace out.